Welcome to episode 300 of the Bear Trap on the Boomer Bust channel, a Bears podcast by a Bears fan. I'm your host, Terry. That's crazy. 300. Nice. And today we're going to talk about the quarterback situation. That's what everybody's been wanting to talk about. I was going to do this video like last week, but some things have changed, so I'm actually kind of glad I waited. And things might change by the time this gets uploaded, but as of now, we have some of the dominoes have dropped, and now we still sit here kind of waiting to see what the Bears are going to do. Most of us that have been paying attention in the offseason know that the mandate has been very clear. The challenge has been set out. The Bears, as in Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy, need to identify a viable quarterback for next season, because next season is going to be pivotal on whether they come back or not. If anybody has been paying any attention the last 3 years, you know our quarterback situation has held us back to be nice about it. And so there is the feeling now that we need to make I wouldn't say a drastic, but an important move. And obviously, if you've been watching the franchise, you know we've had very bad luck with franchise quarterbacks. So here we are today. Carson Wentz has been traded to the Colts. They gave up decent value. I highly doubt they're going to flip him. Phillip Rivers officially retired. We expect Drew Brees to potentially retire. Tom Brady's doing his thing. We got Matt Stafford. The Lions and Stafford announced they're going to find a trade mutually, and they did. He goes to the Rams. Jared Goff gets traded in that scenario. He comes to Detroit, to the NFC North, which should be interesting to play him. And I think for the most part, those are the quarterback moves. So a couple of dominoes have fell. And so we sit here today with some options still out there. And the question posed to you as the fans, who is it that you want the Bears to have at quarterback, or what do you want to see at quarterback? You might not have a specific person, although this is a huge quarterback market this offseason. So you might, but even if you don't, what type of quarterback do you want to see, or what type of situation do you want to see going into this year? And I'll talk a little bit about what I think, but that's really the question. I don't have super strong feelings one way or the other, which is why I'm posing the question to get the conversation started. Cause me, honestly, I don't think Nagy's the coach. I know some other fans that comment, they feel the same way, like it don't matter cause Nagy's here. And I wouldn't say it don't matter, but I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop on this, era. I think Pace is a really solid GM, but it seems like he's gonna, they're gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater. So I don't know that, all of this is gonna matter too much. So I don't have a strong opinion, which again is why I'm starting this conversation. The other part of it, as I mentioned before in the off-season press conferences, is that the Bears really put, or the owners, I should say, put the Bears in a weird position, or the chairman, or however they run whatever. So the issue is that you put out a mandate of you need to make a big move at the quarterback. Now, a big move at the quarterback, well, I should say that's A. The mandate is big move at the quarterback. The other mandate, B, is that you have next season to prove something. Okay, now mandate A, big move at the quarterback, that requires you to have some big capital to change around. And big capital is a long-term effect. Moving big capital, I should say, is a long-term effect, long-term implications. Mandate B, you need to make a move this season, shows that you probably aren't going to pull the trigger on anything major that's going to affect you long-term. So I really think you put Pace in a bind. And so it might come down to it where they sign off on something, but I just think while a lot of people have their minds looking at a lot of big time trades and moves, it feels a little hard to say that the the team would allow Pace to pull the trigger on something that is going to require that much ammo. Now, what I will say is that if it's an established name, then maybe more than likely you probably could get the owners to sign off. Because like if we get Deshaun Watson, I don't think the Texans are trading him. I don't think we're getting him. But if you get Deshaun Watson, that's somebody the owners know. That's somebody they feel comfortable with because all the media, all the little articles say he's a top 5 quarterback. And they're probably like, oh, yes, he's a top 5 quarterback. They don't watch film and understand what they're watching. They just go by what everybody's saying. So if you tell me as the owner or the leadership, okay, we could get Deshaun Watson. Well, even if next season is bad, we could fire Pace and Nagy, but we still got Deshaun Watson, so whoever comes in next could work with Deshaun Watson. Same thing with Justin Herbert. I mean, well, that's a little different. Justin Herbert was a rookie, but it's not like, okay, well, and they didn't give up a whole bunch to get him, so not exactly the same, but it's not like, okay, we can't let go Anthony Lynn because we got Justin Herbert here, and he was a top pick. No, they was like, okay, whoever comes in next, gonna work with him. And so you could get them to sign off on something like that. But other than that, I just don't see them letting Pace pull any wild triggers. That's just my guess. Or maybe they say 1 year is 1 year. Like you get to do your job like you always done. I don't know, but I highly doubt it. That's just usually not how NFL teams operate. So anyway, what do I think we should do? Or let's say I guess I'll start with the should. Should, to me, honestly, I think what we should do is go after a veteran quarterback that's established but isn't like high priced. Now, to me, Stafford fit that 100%, but obviously he's already moved on. So looking around the terrain, you got a number of quarterbacks, but I think that there's a good group that are high priced, and then there's a group that are pretty unknown. And so either they've been in the league a couple years and it's looking shaky, or you're talking about rookies. Now, again, we're picking 20 to get one of these quarterbacks, or at least the ones that make sense. First off, you're not getting Trevor Lawrence. But if you were trying to get Justin Fields or Wilson, and we'll see how it shakes out. But at this moment, it seems like you have to move up significantly. So I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking what kind of fits that mold might be Matt Ryan, who the Falcons already said could be up for grabs. I'm thinking about a Derek Carr, and I'm thinking about, really those two. Those two are the ones where I'm like, that probably makes the most sense to me. Potentially Big Ben in there as well, honestly, because now, Matt Ryan, while good, doesn't have a great reputation. Big Ben, after this season, low reputation. Derek Carr, low reputation. So they're not going to command something crazy. And so I think you bring one of them in, and honestly, I mean, we'll see how the draft shakes. You might come away with a quarterback, but then that's your backup right there. And you treat it as I wouldn't say a bridge situation, but you treat it as a temporary situation. Get us a veteran guy that can read the defense, that won't give the ball away, and that will be able to stay in the pocket. And obviously you want to still continue to improve the areas of weakness on the team, but specifically talking with the quarterback, we're not going to pick him up and put him right in this year's roster. We're going to hopefully continue to improve, but I think that's the best option you got, because if you show that you could at least be effective, you could win. I think we still got a defense, and A-Rob might be leaving. I still think we got a team that might be able to make some moves in the playoffs, especially Dave Montgomery. And I hope he continues to get better too, but I think he's really solid. And so our run game could do something as we continue to prove the O-line, hopefully. And then, again, a veteran quarterback that can sustain those drives. And then the defense has enough talent. There's a lot of underperformers on that defense, but we still got enough talent, especially even if we wanted to make a move or two. I think we are a really solid defense that's going to get the ball back to the offense. And so if you show that you can win and you can coach, you can improve your coaching as Nagy, you can get your staff together, your play calling together, your in-game decisions. If you can get the players prepared and show that they actually look professional and know what's going on, and you can all continue to do that and get to the playoffs legitimately, not a backdoor playoffs, and then potentially win a game, I think you buy yourself enough cachet to where you then can make a move for a bigger quarterback. So, that's a rookie. I mean, unless something again happens next year where somebody becomes available, but I don't really see it happening that way. Nobody of note, I should say. If they don't move Russ this year, I don't think they're moving them next year unless something crazy happens. If they don't move Watson this year, I don't think they're moving him next year unless he sits out. Well, then obviously they would move him. But, I think after this year, the path is young quarterback. And then that buys you some more time to keep going. Now, do I think that's going to happen? No. I don't think that's what will happen. I think that's what should happen. What would happen? What would the Bears do in this scenario? Honestly, I see the Bears doing one of two things. And this good. Honestly, they could surprise us, and that's fine. But what I really see the Bears doing is one of two things. And one of them people aren't really going to like. I could see us, number one, bringing Nick Foles back to be the starter. And it's like, okay, he's a veteran. He's a guy that Nagy trusts. And obviously, I think there was more at play than just Foles being bad, as some people try to act like. But yeah, he's a guy that Nagy trusts, and they think that, okay, we could sustain this offense while the defense does their thing. We're going to stick with Nick Foles, probably get a young quarterback in the draft, and then at some point, if we're losing, we'll put the young quarterback in so fans could have some hope, and we'll keep rolling through the season, and hopefully we win some games. And they'll probably get fired. But that's what I think I could see them doing. Other than that, I could see us. I don't know. Actually, no. That's kind of mostly what I see. I do, again, and I know a lot of people are going to talk about all these other crazy trades. I could see us doing something like that, but I just don't know that they're going to let Ryan Pace do it. But I could see them going at like kind of like Foles, another project, somebody that has potential but isn't really the starter. And that might be Marcus Mariota. People are calling about Carr and Mariota, so they might be looking to get him and try to do something safe like that. But also, I don't know, excited enough? I don't know. But that's kind of where my mind is at. I said two things, but I really focus it down to one. Foles. I can't really see anything else. I mean, you get Foles back, and then you get a young quarterback, and then you go. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. But again, the question is, who do you want to see? Like I said, I want to see a vet come in, somebody to stabilize the team and kind of make a run with this roster. Obviously, if you're asking me what I want in a fantasy, I would have fired Nagy. I would have brought in a new coach, and I would have allowed them to go for broke and try to go get. Now, I'm not on the Deshaun Watson fan, or I'm not on the Deshaun Watson train. Not to say I'm not a fan of him, but I'm not giving up what people are talking about because I don't see him as that type of quarterback. Now, Russ Wilson, I give up that type of stuff for Russ Wilson. I would definitely try to make that move. But that's really the only thing I would try to shoot for. Other than that, I try to shoot for moving up in the draft, trying to get Justin Fields. I mean, I like Trevor Lawrence, but I don't know I know that he won't be available. So Justin Fields potentially trying to trade up in the draft and then working with him, or trying to go out and get a Dak Prescott. Those are really the three options. Like Dak is going to want money, but we don't have to give up the same type of capital we do for Watson. And I don't think he's better than Watson, but I think he's right below Watson. And so bringing Dak in, and trying to, again, continue to build our team and make it right for him. But those are the options I would look at, if it was me, and that wouldn't include bringing Nagy back, but that's what they did. And with Nagy and Pace coming back, there's just certain strings that's going to be attached. So it's going to just be hard to go after some of these people. So, but yeah, there's a number of options out there as we look around. Big Ben, is going to be on the outs. Tua, a lot of people think, now I don't know what we have to give them to give up Tua, but a lot of people think Tua, well, they do got 3 picks, so they probably could just draft quarterback there. But a lot of people think Tua is available. You got Cam Newton's going to be out there. I don't think what you saw in Cam Newton in New England was Cam Newton. I think that was New England being New England. Sam Darnold, a lot of people talking about the Jets potentially moving on from him and going with a younger quarterback. But again, I think he's more in that unknown because the Jets were terrible. They didn't support him. He had some bad habits coming out, but we don't really fully know what he is. Again, Deshaun Watson, everybody's talking about that. Gardner Minshew, a lot of people were talking about him with the Bears. That yeah, just take both the Jags quarterbacks. Derek Carr, Marcus Mariota, not a lot. Some people talking about trade for Jordan Love. That don't make any sense to me. Jordan Love didn't even play last year. I don't mean he didn't get on the field. I mean he didn't dress. We don't know anything about Jordan Love. Why would we give up big capital for him? Dak Prescott, potentially Jalen Hurts, depending on who they bring in at quarterback. Matt Ryan, Teddy Bridgewater. Some people want Jameis Winston. It's weird. I swear this is like the coach carousel. Jameis Winston went away for a year and didn't do anything like most coaches when they get fired. And all of a sudden they become hot demand the next year. I just don't get that. So a lot of people talking about Jameis Winston, interest in him, but the Saints want to keep him. And then Jimmy G and Russ Wilson as well. Jimmy G, now they didn't get Stafford, and so I'm not sure who they're aiming for, but the talks is that Jimmy G is like openly available. And even if it hasn't been a lot of talks, the fact that that's out there has to hurt the relationship. So Jimmy G, EIU grad, people wouldn't mind bringing him back, Illinois native. And then Russ Wilson, I think, is a big fish. Now, that's kind of a reach because Russ clearly made comments. Like, that ain't no reading between the lines. He clearly made comments to stir the pot. Now, some people think that's to get the Seattle Seahawks to do some more for him. Some people think he really wants out. But either way, he stirred the pot and people are calling, and that would take a lot to get him. But Seattle never really gave him much. I mean, DK obviously was a good find, but a lot of people passed on him. Tyler Lockett was good in the making. They never had great tight end situations, always older tight ends or no-name tight ends. But the O-line has been trash for a long time as far as pass protection. And so his defense ain't what it used to be. Russ Wilson in Chicago would be insane. I mean, our offensive line isn't great, but honestly, as much as people talk crap about our O-line, I don't know that Seattle's had a better unit over the last few years in terms of pass blocking. Of course, we could look at the numbers and stuff, but you're just talking about who lines up and just watching the game and technique. I mean, Massey has been terrible and Leno has been terrible, but also our interior has been solid for the most part. discounted when we had Coward. But Seattle's whole O-line has been terrible at times, at years. So I don't know. But either way, he's used to running around. We could get it together. But we showed we could protect. Jimmy G, if we bring him back, Cole Kmet, doing these multiple tight end sets, we showed that we could protect, and I think we could, especially if we get our run game together. So, yeah, Russ Wilson, I think you can make something out of that. So, a number of quarterbacks out there, but what do you want to see? Do you want to see a vet? Do you want to see us go for a young quarterback, a rookie quarterback in this draft? Do you want to, or should I say, a top quarterback prospect in this draft? Do you want to see us get a later quarterback prospect in this draft? Do you want to see us wait to next year to try to get a quarterback prospect? Do you want to see us go get one of these veterans on the back end of the career? Do you want us to go after one of the big fish? How do you think it's going to play out, and what do you want to see the Bears do at the quarterback position? Outside of something stupid, we ain't getting Pat Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers or none of that. So go to the comment section. Let me know what you think. Share it around. Get the conversation started. Thumbs up, subscribe, and remember, stay up and bear down.